All right, guys, it's really exciting that this next interview that is going to be with a very good friend of mine. We go way, way, way back to the early 90s, and I remember when he turned pro. We became friends, and then he came up to me at one of the first big shows that I did, which was called the 1995 Junior Nationals, and I was a fan of his, and he said, man, I've never seen anyone as lean as you were. And to me, that was the greatest compliment that Kevin Levrone, the great Kevin Levrone, would give me a compliment like that. And we became friends after that. And then in 1996, I drove down to Maryland and we did a little work together. He beat Flex Wheeler at the Arnold Classic that year, and the rest is history, man. And that's how long Kevin and I know each other. And
yeah, it's been great, Dave. It's good to be here.
It's funny how you meet people in this industry, but it's a very small industry, Kevin.
And by the way, it's both of our first times being here in Dubai, so there's a lot of interesting things to see around here. I haven't gotten out yet, but David and I was just talking. It's almost like the Vegas, you know?
Las Vegas of the Middle East, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many of you guys actually made it to the Mr. Olympia or been to Las Vegas? Raise your hands.
No one.
Anybody?
No one.
No? Well, this is like Vegas, so you're not missing much in Vegas.
Kev, this is your first time in Dubai?
First time, yeah.
I was actually here in 1996, before all this was built.
What was here?
Not much. It was a lot of steel girders going up.
Really?
And a lot of promises, and I didn't believe that they would ever make it look like this.
Why did you come?
There was a show here, and I guest posed with Milo Sarsha.
Wow, yeah.
Edgar Fletcher, if you remember him.
My God, yes.
Laura Bass.
Yes.
And who else was here? There was one other
Laura Bass.
Laura Bass. She wasn't very welcome here because women were not that welcome.
Oh, really?
Back then, yeah. But there was not much going on here. And,
what's up, man? How you doing, brother? Right on. Good to see you, man.
Now
you got a champ over here, man. Stand up, champ. Yeah, got a champ over here, so thank you.
Now, Kev, you know, you're a guy who's recreated yourself in this industry so many times over. It's unbelievable. You made the comeback a couple years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to know what inspired it. Was it a business decision?
Nah, you know, people always say that, Dave. It's one of the things that you just got to really, really feel in your heart, you know, and it's got to be real, you know, because you can't really fake it. It's like, being away from the sport so long, I felt like I had it. I always wanted to win the Mr. Olympia, but I didn't.
Right.
So when the guys came up along and I was looking at the physiques, I'm like, man, they're not really that much greater or whatever than us. But I think I waited a little too long.
You were 50 though when you did
that. If I had came back maybe 8 years after I retired,
right,
instead of 14,
yeah,
you know, I probably would have had a better shot at, you know, placed in the top 5 or something.
Yeah.
But it was okay. I mean, it was one of those things. I still had that fire going in me, all the support from the fans, and it just like steamrolled after that, you know.
A lot of people ask me though, Dave, do you miss competing when you go to these shows and you're interviewing all these people?
Yeah.
And my answer, and I never even got my pro card, my answer is always no, because I kind of got it out of my system.
Yeah.
I knew when I stopped, I had done everything I possibly could to look as best I could. And I know you probably feel the same way. I mean, you gave 100% when you competed.
I did. I gave it 100%, and I wanted to.
You were just so close. That's what it was.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I wanted to win so bad, man. And then the judging criteria seemed like it almost changed because what they were doing was they were actually rewarding the best guy on stage.
Right.
You know, because Dexter had came in after I retired, so that changed. You know, Jay ended up taking out Phil. And things just started changing, and I'm like, oh man, how come that wasn't happening when we were competing?
Well, you know what? I always say it's timing. I mean,
yeah, it's crazy.
Shawn Rhoden was at the right place at the right time this year, and he's Mr. Olympia now because of that.
Definitely. I mean, kudos to him. I'm glad Shawn did. He deserved. People ask me, well, what do you think about Shawn Rhoden, and how do you feel about it? I feel like, guess what? He deserved to win the show. He had beautiful lines. He was in shape. All the other guys were off,
right,
and he took them out. You know, like back in the day, and that wouldn't have happened because when we were competing,
there was 10 guys who could have taken that place.
And it was like you had to knock the champ out.
Right.
And then another thing, since we're talking about the Mr. Olympia and all this stuff, and all the guys are here, Dorian Yates here. I don't know if Shawn Rhoden's here, but you know, a lot of guys are going to be coming up, joining us. Rich Gaspari, Jay Cutler, and a lot of great champs. But what rings to my mind is that when I was competing with Dorian Yates outweighed me by like 45 or 50 pounds.
Yeah, I know. People don't realize that.
And Ronnie Coleman outweighed us like almost by 60 pounds. So it was like getting set. Those guys could be off, and they still had enough muscle mass to carry the victory off. So nowadays you got these guys out there competing, okay? So Mr. Olympia, say, you know, Phil is what, 250?
If that much.
250, if that much. Yeah. You know, and then Rhoden's 250, if that much. So it's like everything is so close. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, when Yates won and when Coleman won, and even when Haney won when he was competing, they were always the biggest guy on stage.
They were the biggest, and he outweighed everybody by at least 30 pounds.
Right. Do you think you think at some point in the future we're going to see a Mr. Olympia who's going to be like the dominant, the biggest guy on stage again?
I have no idea because I don't know, man. People ask me all the time, I never thought Ronnie Coleman would be Mr. Olympia because Ronnie used to go on tour with us, and Dave knows. Ronnie Coleman competed like 7 years, and he would get dead last, like in every show. Like we would do the European tours, Dave.
Right.
We go to Spain, Italy, Germany, France. We would do 7 shows after the Mr. Olympia, and Ronnie Coleman would always come. And Ronnie would be sitting there carrying his water, him and Vicky Gates. He didn't have enough money to take the flights because he wasn't sponsored by Joe Weider. He would take his own money and catch the trains.
Did he really?
Yeah, Ronnie did this stuff for like 4 or 5 years. I'm like, here he comes.
I thought they would pay for you guys.
No,
they didn't
not
pay for
Ronnie.
your flights?
Ronnie had to pay for his own stuff. Because he wasn't a Weider athlete.
Oh, he wasn't a top 5 or something.
No, he wasn't a Weider athlete.
Oh, Weider would pay for you guys. I didn't know that.
We were Weider athletes.
Oh,
but if you wasn't a Weider athlete, you had to pay your own way on that tour. That's crazy. And Ronnie would catch a train from Spain to Germany, from Germany to Czechoslovakia. It would take 8 hours for him to get somewhere. He'd be carrying his water and stuff, and he would get dead last in every show.
And he didn't give up,
It was crazy. And I was like, why you keep doing this, man? He's like, you know, I love the sport, Kevin. So, you know, I was like, dude, no way. And then
you gave him, everyone knows the story. Do you guys know the story about how Kevin?
In Russia. We were in Russia one year. He came to my room, right? Gave my room. And I gave him a few shots of vodka, you know. And,
you put it in the coffee, I heard,
I was like, Ronnie, come on in my room,
Coffee and vodka.
Man, how you getting shape like that? I don't know. I don't drink no alcohol.
Right. Ronnie probably never had a sip of alcohol his whole life. Kevin's boozing it up in his room.
He got drunk.
Winning every show on the tour.
Ronnie's like,
oh man, that's some good stuff right there.
That's a good invitation to Ronnie Coleman.
Have more shots, big dog.
I don't drink no alcohol, but if you say have some more shots, I'm gonna go ahead and try it then.
Kevin might have the best Ronnie Coleman impression of all time.
Yeah. So he got all drunk, went back to his room, woke up the next day.
And killed all you guys.
I walked backstage. I was like, damn. That was it. I never beat him since. And he came to the States. Beat me at the Night of Champions.
Yeah,
that was in, May back then.
That was right before the Olympia.
Olympia rolled around, took all of us out, won 8 shows after that.
I always say, you know, that there's so many guys out there that probably have the genetic ability to be the greatest bodybuilders of all time. They just don't have the knowledge. And Ronnie was like that. Ronnie had the will and desire, but I don't think he knew all the secrets, Kevin.
No.
And then you gave him one of the secrets, you know.
And I heard Flex Wheeler helped him out a little bit.
Flex Wheeler gave him the secrets of the vitamins, the special vitamins. Yeah.
You guys got to understand Ronnie Coleman, how phenomenal of an athlete he is. Ronnie Coleman won the Universe. He competed with us in the Nationals, and he won the Universe. In all those years, Ronnie was on the stage, on Olympia stage, getting 10th, not placing in the top 10. He was a natural athlete.
I think so, yeah. I believe
he was natural, but he had a work ethic like unbelievably insane. You know.
Well, I think he only was when he turned pro the same year you did.
Yeah.
Because you won the Nationals '91. Ronnie was 5th, but he went to the Universe because he was drug free. he turned pro the same year.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
I mean, but he had only been working out. I mean, he'd only been training for bodybuilding, what, 2 years?
Unbelievable, man. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable story. But
he's here somewhere. And you know what? To see, how many of you guys saw his movie?
Yeah, I saw that movie, so it was great on Netflix.
Yeah. I mean, people say, "What do you think about that?" What I think about that, and what I see, is a driving force far beyond human. You know, and you see actually Ronnie, and you see his heart, and you see the drive and the dedication, and he just doesn't quit. So that is what actually made him become 8-time Mr. Olympia, because he don't quit. And that's a gift from God to have. And a lot of people say, you know, enhancements this and enhancements that, whatever. You can take all the stuff you want, but it's not going to give you that deep down heart-throb drive to continue to train and train, because of you believe in it so much. And it's mind over power. And you guys can see Ronnie Coleman, 10 surgeries, never complained. He's here right now. Took about 17 hours to get here. I mean, who can endure that, you know? So he's one of a kind, unbelievable human being. He's the greatest in my eyes and the king of bodybuilding, but he's also one heck of a guy, never complains, and he loves each and every one of us. And that's what separates Ronnie Coleman apart from any of us that ever competed on stage with this guy. I love him.
If there were no drugs in the sport, no steroids, no growth hormone, no performance-enhancing drugs, would Ronnie Coleman have been Mr. Olympia 20 times?
I think the champs still would be where they are.
You think everyone would have been the same?
I think everyone still would be where they are.